A fearless test pilot, a cosmic ring powered by will, and a legacy that spans galaxies. That's Hal Jordan, a name that resonates in comic book halls and pop culture alike. This isn't just about a guy in green tights, it's an odyssey from small-town beginnings to interstellar policing, moral reckoning, and redemption on an unimaginable scale. Today, we dive deep into Hal's journey, the man behind the ring, his rise, his fall, and his lasting impact on nerd culture. This is the nerd history of Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern.
You could be dating the Green Lantern!
The story of Hal Jordan begins in the Silver Age of comics, a period defined by the resurgence of superhero storytelling in the late 1950s. In July 1959, DC Comics introduced Hal Jordan in Showcase number 22, a comic dated for October 1959. Created by editor Julius Schwartz, writer John Broome, and artist Gil Kane. Their aim was to reimagine the Green Lantern character from the Golden Age's Alan Scott into something modern and scientifically grounded. Hal Jordan was no sorcerer wielding a mystical ring. He was a test pilot chosen by a dying alien, Abin Sur, to inherit the most powerful weapon in the universe, a power ring fueled by willpower. Jordan's early stories were a hybrid of sci-fi adventure and moral clarity. As a member of the intergalactic Green Lantern Corps, Hal was assigned to protect Sector 2814, which included Earth. His dual life as a pilot at Ferris Aircraft and a cosmic law enforcer established one of the most dynamic identities in comics. Readers were immediately captivated by his fearlessness, charisma, and occasional recklessness, all traits that made him deeply human. The debut of Green Lantern cemented Hal as a foundational member of the Justice League of America. His stories tackled threats on both terrestrial and cosmic levels, setting a standard for superhero narratives that blended personal stakes with vast universal consequences. He wasn't just Earth's protector, he was a universal sentinel.
What's with all the green?
Behind Hal Jordan's success was a trio of visionary creatives. Julius Schwartz brought a science fiction ed to DC's stable, leveraging his experience editing pulp sci-fi magazines. Writer John Broome infused Hal's stories with themes of duty and justice, often reflecting the cultural optimism of post-war America. Artist Gil Kane provided a sleek, modern aesthetic that defined Hal's clean-cut look and action-packed panels. But as the 1970s rolled in, the creative direction shifted. Dennis O'Neil and Neil Adams took over and crafted one of the most critically lauded comic book runs in history. Pairing Hal with the left-wing firebrand Green Arrow, the duo thrust the Green Lantern series into real-world issues like drug abuse, racial inequity, and political corruption. In a bold narrative move, they took Hal out of the stars and into the streets of America, confronting moral ambiguities that challenged his worldview. This era was pivotal. It not only redefined Hal's moral compass, but also reinforced his role as a character capable of evolution. Rather than a paragon of righteousness, he became a figure who could question, adapt, and grow.
Only the modern Green Lantern is vulnerable to yellow.
The 1990s marked a turbulent era for Hal Jordan. After the destruction of his beloved Coast City by Mongul and the cyborg Superman, Hal's grief consumed him. In a controversial storyline titled Emerald Twilight, Hal attempted to use the central power battery on Oa to resurrect his city. Denied by the Guardians, he snapped, absorbing the battery's power, slaughtering fellow Lanterns, and assuming the identity of Parallax. Fans were divided. Some praised the bold narrative risks, others were devastated to see their hero fall so far. The storyline effectively ended Hal's tenure as Green Lantern, passing the torch to Kyle Rayner, a rookie artist who became the new ring bearer. Hal's actions as Parallax included reshaping reality in 0 Hour, Crisis in Time, and a subsequent path of atonement leading to his death in Final Night, where he sacrificed himself to reignite Earth's sun. Redemption came with Green Lantern Rebirth in 2004, written by Geoff Johns. The series redefined Parallax not as Hal's dark side, but as a cosmic parasite embodying fear. This allowed Hal to return as a hero while preserving the emotional weight of his past mistakes. It was a masterstroke of retconning that rejuvenated interest in the character and the mythos.
Just as green energy is formed by willpower and red by anger, it seems the orange energy is fueled by avarice.
Geoff Johns didn't just bring Hal back, he reshaped the entire Green Lantern mythology. His run, lasting from 2004 to 2013, is widely regarded as one of the greatest in modern superhero comics. Johns introduced the emotional spectrum, a cosmic concept where each color represented a different emotion: will for green, fear for yellow, rage for red, hope for blue, love for violet, avarice for orange, and compassion for indigo. This expansion introduced new Corps: the terrifying Sinestro Corps, the vengeful Red Lanterns, the healing Indigo Tribe, the greedy Orange Lantern Larfleas, and the passionate Star Sapphires. Each Corps brought unique narratives, rich lore, and diverse characters. Hal's battles with Sinestro became central, especially in arcs like Sinestro Corps War, where the Yellow Lanterns invaded Earth. That event alone elevated the Green Lantern title to a top-selling book. Johns masterfully guided Hal through Blackest Night, a massive crossover event where deceased heroes and villains were resurrected as Black Lanterns. The story was both a horror epic and an emotional catharsis. It culminated in Brightest Day, re-establishing Hal as Earth's central defender. During this period, Hal worked alongside and sometimes against other Corps, reflecting themes of emotional balance, cooperation, and the complexity of heroism. By the end of Johns' run, the Green Lantern universe had grown into a sprawling mythos with layered politics, interpersonal drama, and cosmic stakes. Hal Jordan stood at the center of it all, a hero not because he was flawless, but because he bore the weight of his flaws with unshakable will.
As lanterns, we must fight with all our will.
Hal Jordan has long been one of DC's cornerstone heroes, though his journey has not been without turbulence. The Parallax arc deeply polarized fans, but Green Lantern Rebirth re-established Hal's heroism and proved his story could evolve. His inclusion in the Justice League, animated adaptations, and crossover events solidified his role as a pillar of the DC universe. Outside the comics, Hal appeared in numerous animated series, including Justice League Unlimited and Green Lantern the Animated Series. In 2011, Warner Bros. Released a live-action Green Lantern film starring Ryan Reynolds. Despite high expectations and cutting-edge visual effects, the film underperformed critically and commercially, later becoming a cautionary tale in superhero cinema. Still, Hal remained a fan favorite thanks to compelling writing and his central role in comic arcs throughout the 2010s. Hal Jordan's legacy is one of perseverance. Despite narrative missteps and controversial transformations, he endures because his story taps into something universal: the struggle to overcome fear and the belief in redemption through will.
Fear is more effective than willpower. So you ditched green and went yellow, the color of cowardice.
Hal Jordan's visual inspiration came from Paul Newman, giving him that classic movie star charm. He's the only Earth Lantern to have wielded all 9 rings of the emotional spectrum at some point. Hal also temporarily became the Spectre, the spirit of vengeance, after his death, a supernatural detour that emphasized themes of atonement. Hal's oath in Brightest Day in Blackest Night has transcended comics to become one of the most iconic mantras in nerddom. Even outside DC circles, he's instantly recognizable. IGN ranked him as the 7th greatest comic book hero of all time, and he consistently lands in top 10 lists for most iconic superheroes.
Please don't make the super suit green or animated.
No Green Lantern discussion is complete without addressing the controversies. Hal's descent into Parallax, while narratively bold, was divisive. Many fans felt it betrayed the character's essence. Others applauded the risk and emotional gravity. DC's decision to make Hal a villain led to campaigns for his return, and ultimately, Rebirth served as a direct answer to fan demand. The 2011 movie remains another flashpoint. Critics panned its over-reliance on CGI and lack of emotional depth. Even Ryan Reynolds has openly joked about the film's shortcomings, going so far as to fictionally take his own life before agreeing to do the movie in the time-traveling end-credits scene of Deadpool 2. The backlash was significant enough to stall further Green Lantern cinematic efforts for over a decade.
Brightest day. Blackest night.
Hal Jordan redefined what it means to be a superhero. Not because he never failed, but because he always fought to rise again. He embodies the essence of willpower, the ability to act despite fear. Through decades of storytelling, from cosmic wars to internal struggles, Hal has remained a touchstone of redemption and resilience. The Green Lantern universe expanded dramatically thanks to Hal's foundational presence. Today, characters like John Stewart, Jessica Cruz, and Simon Baz continue his legacy, but Hal remains the North Star. With new adaptations like HBO's Lanterns on the horizon, the flame of Jordan's story is far from extinguished. Hal Jordan's journey from reckless pilot to cosmic redeemer isn't just superhero fiction. It's a narrative about choice, accountability, and the indomitable human spirit. He soared, he fell, and he found his way back. A testimony to the power of Green Lantern's light.